The title of your new album, A Lily for the Spectre. What do you mean with that?
Well, when I was recording the first record, we recorded in an old abandoned factory. It made dog food, and it was like all these stories of empty space, and so we used the rooms for the acoustics. And lights were going on and off, and doors were opening and closing, and things were flying across the room. We were hearing voices, and so, you know, it started just getting this reputation as being terribly haunted. It was really old and really, really creepy. And, you know, there were like 15 or 20 of us there, and nobody believed in ghosts that was there. And everyone's like, this is ridiculous, you know, ba-da-da, but suddenly the songs would be missing, you know, strings would break at the weirdest time. I mean, it was just, you know, it was just random occurrences, but we literally heard dogs barking in the recordings and things like that, and just, it was way out in the middle of nowhere. So it was really creepy, and this old man, it sounds like a story, but it's true, came by the factory one day, and it was so cliche. He was like, well, y'all have any strange experiences around here? We were like, yeah, we have, you know. And he said there were these silos, like a grain silo, like next to a farm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they kept the grain. And I guess when they were building them in the 20s, like a bunch of people fell in and died. So there are people like trapped in the silos. And I guess he said because of that, like there's just people had died there, and it just was this real mysterious thing. So anyway, all that to say that, you know, we had such trouble with the recording that everyone said, why don't you sing your songs for the ghosts? Why don't you start singing lullabies to them and see, you know, as a joke, kind of, to see if they'll calm down. Yeah, like we want to keep our data. Like we kept saving our data. And I mean, the studio had a flood, it had a fire, it was robbed. It was just like electrical things went flying. It was just radio stations coming out of record players, just weird stuff. And so, you know, I was writing this record at that time, and so I got kind of obsessed with the idea of, not that I haven't always been obsessed with the idea of death, but maybe a woman whose lover has died, and sort of she's singing to him through song, and then he's like coming closer in the spirit, and she's coming closer in the physical, and they just kind of can meet like through the song. So like the song is like a lily, it's like peace, go to sleep, or come here, or so it was like the communication between the worlds, the music being communication between the worlds, kind of.
Yeah.
Not that I believe in any of that.
No, you really don't believe in it?
I don't know.
Still after, you know, the recording sessions?
Well, I mean, it's still just perception. It's still just perception at the time, you know. So, I mean, you're always going to have a different perception of it, and it could be true, it could not be true, it could be any number of things. But it was weird, and we all felt it, and we all knew it somehow. But still, if you told me it was on like an electrical current or something, I would go like, okay, that makes sense as well. But it could be any number of things.
Yeah. Okay.
I try not to kind of cling to one idea, because it can just be blown out of the water by another idea. So I just kind of think it's all interesting.
Was the album title also inspired by the events Ghosts, Mice and Vagabonds?
Yeah, because on the first record, I like ghosts. On the first record, you know, we had all these sounds that would happen, like these inexplicable bangs and screams and footsteps and noises and just electrical noise that would come in, and we're like, well, it's either the ghosts or the mice or the vagabonds, because there were, you know, supposedly people like roosting in the lower portions of the factory, but we never saw anybody. But
do you have an example of a sound that's still in the recording that?
There's well, on one of the last songs, Blue Paper Lanterns, there's like a door slamming, and there were just two of us in the studio, and there's just like this door slam right when I start, and at the very end there's like another door slam. And we were just sitting there, it was like two people this close, and then the chords were running down, you know, really, 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 really far away into, you know, past like 3 rooms into the control room. So it's just the two of us. We heard it and we looked at each other, and I just kept playing. But it was really weird because we didn't know where it came from. We were just in a room. No one was anywhere.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.